Hey beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. Welcome to a new chapter reading video where we are going to read one chapter from the book Light from Many Lamps. So for this video, I've chosen this particular section and this chapter. The section is Faith and Inner Calm, and the chapter that we are going to read is by Richard E. Byrd. So just to give you a context, Richard was in Antarctica for a couple of months to gather scientific data, and he has written something about this when he was, staying there and collecting the data. He has written this particular aspect. Let's see what he has got to say. All over the world, people were talking, laughing, dining together, sharing experiences. But here, on the vast glistening immensity of Ross Barrier, there was only one man. One man alone with the wind and snow and cold, with the silence and emptiness. Richard E. Byrd stood for a moment watching the great waves of snow wheeling and rolling across the barrier, vanishing into the sky. It was so cold he could hear his breath crystallize in the air. He had meant to return almost at once to the comparative warmth and comfort of his shack, buried in the ice cap. But something kept him standing there, listening, watching. It was the Antarctic winter of 1934. He had come to this bleak icy shelf between Little America and the South Pole to obtain scientific data, to observe and report on polar meteorology. But he had also wanted to be by himself for a while, to be physically and spiritually on his own. He wanted to think things out in quiet and solitude, to sink roots into some replenishing philosophy. He felt the need and desire to believe. He stood that afternoon, looking out over the barrier, feeling its beauty and its power. He listened to the stillness, filling that vast brooding space with mystery. He thought of the orderly swing of the planets in their orbit, the everlasting movement of the constellations across the sky, the steady rhythm change of the seasons. And he thought how all of these things went together, how they showed a master's touch. I had never known such utter quiet, he wrote later in his diary. And suddenly, standing there alone on the barrier, the quiet flooded in and engulfed him. And for an instant, he was part of it. He was part of the silence, the space, and the harmony. For an instant, he felt his oneness with the universe. I am not alone, he thought, as he had many times before in the silence and solitude of this self-imposed exile. The human race is not alone in the universe. Faith welled up within him. Warmth filled and suffused him, here where the coldest cold on the face of the earth was manufactured. He returned to his shack and wrote in his diary the peaceful conclusions he had come to about the universe and man's place in it. So this is what he has written in his diary. I paused to listen to the silence. My breath, crystallized as it passed my cheeks, drifted on a breeze gentler than a whisper. The wind vane pointed towards the South Pole. Presently, the wind cups ceased their gentle turning as the cold killed the breeze. My frozen breath hung like a cloud overhead. The day was dying, the night was being born, but with great peace. Here were the imponderable processes and forces of the cosmos, harmonious and soundless. Harmony, that was it. That was what came out of all the silence. A gentle rhythm, the strain of a perfect chord, the music of the spheres perhaps. It was enough to catch that rhythm, momentarily to be myself a part of it. In that instant, I could feel no doubt of man's oneness with the universe. The conviction came that rhythm was too orderly, too harmonious, too perfect to be a product of blind chance. That, therefore, there must be purpose in the whole, and that the man was part of that whole and not an accidental offshoot. It was a feeling that transcended reason, that went to the heart of a man's despair and found it groundless. The universe was a cosmos, not a chaos. Man was as rightfully a part of that cosmos as were day and night. The inspiring paragraphs above are from Alone, the record of Admiral Byrd's 5 lonely months in the Antarctic obtaining scientific data. It is a record also of his own personal mission, his quest for a deep and abiding faith. Here, completely cut off from all human contact, far from the accustomed world and its security, living in a shack that was less than a pinprick on the vast expanse of the barrier, here in the bleakness, the loneliness and the cold, Admiral Byrd learned that man is not alone. Here he came to the peaceful conclusion that man is part of the whole and that he's a part of the universe and its eternal harmony. For those who seek it, there is inexhaustible evidence of an all-pervading intelligence. This is what Admiral Byrd discovered in the Antarctic winter of 1934, along with his discoveries about polar meteorology. That is the heartening faith he brought back, along with his scientific data and records. And that is his inspiring message to all who feel the need and desire to believe. Man is not alone. If you have watched the video till here, congratulations, you just completed one chapter from the book Light from Many Lamps. Let me know in the comment section what did you think of this write-up. And yeah, that's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.